Okay, so I've made several videos about the national interest waiver and how international students can use this path to get a permanent residence in America. I have several videos about it. There are also tons of videos on YouTube on how to go about the process. But this video is not about the process. This video is about two main things. Number one, the current status of the program. Number two, alternative routes or things that you can do if you find yourself in a situation where the national interest waiver program might not be the best option for you. But before I go into details of the video, I'd like to do some background house clearing, cobweb clearing, house check thing, which is to really explain what the national interest waiver is. And from there, you get an idea of the fact that if you're qualified for national interest waiver, there are so many other things that you're qualified for that you probably don't know about right now, or because it's not as popular as national interest waiver. And you can lean into that to your own advantage to get past the current situation that the national interest waiver is facing at the moment. So the idea behind national interest waiver is very simple. People call it NIW, people call it EB2 visa. The idea is very simple. If you have a graduate degree, either in the US or anywhere in the world, and you've contributed substantially to your field, and you show great potential to contribute some more, you can petition for yourself and tell the United States government that it is in their best interest to allow you to stay in their country because you are a resourceful person. There's a decent chance that whatever it is that you lay your hands upon or whatever it is that you set your mind to, it's going to become successful, and in the long run, it's going to benefit the United States. That is the idea behind it. The idea is to make sure that the United States does not miss out on talented people all over the world. Very simple. And to do that, you have to justify the fact that, number one, you have an advanced degree. This could be a master's degree, a PharmD, MD, PhD, whatever it is. Anything after a bachelor's, that is not diploma, of course. Anything from master's degree upward. And you have to have a way to document that you have a potential, you have the capability to do the things that you said you want to do. So you have to have what they call proposed endeavor, which means, America has issue with hunger, for example. There are so many people that die of like food shortage or whatever. That's a problem that you know most people in the world face, and America included. And then you have a way of solving that problem, and you're embarked on the journey of solving the problem. Would you be able to solve it? No, nobody knows. But America is willing to give you a chance to pursue the idea. But you need to show that you have the resources or the capability to really achieve your proposed endeavor. So if you're able to put all of that together in form of a petition, you can send that to USCIS. Somebody reviews your case and they approve it. Now, over the past 5 years, it's become very popular amidst international students, especially people that are in the STEM program, because it's kind of easier for people in the STEM program to justify that they have a reason to pursue their proposed endeavor. Most people have their name on a research paper. Most people are in a field that is exploring answers to diseases that plague the country. So it's easy to justify that. Long story short is the fact that over the last couple of years, it has become kind of saturated. Like people go after NIW, and almost everybody is qualified. I've seen people submit application that is as huge as like hundreds of pages. Anyway, so what that did to the system was it created a huge, massive backlog such that USCIS couldn't process the case as fast as they were getting it. And they had to redress the system. Redress in the sense that before, people used to be able to file their petition and also file their adjustment of status concurrently. I feel like I need to explain what that means. What that means is that if you file a petition, which means you're petitioning the government to say, I'm of interest to this country. Once that petition is approved, you also have to do adjustment of status, which is basically the evidence that your petition has been approved, along with a bunch of other forms, asking the immigration to change your status from F1 or whatever visa that you're on to a permanent resident. Now, when the program became more popular amidst people started applying, that rule changed a little bit. It changed such that you cannot file your petition and adjustment of status at the same time. That was the first step. And USCIS also tried to keep up, but over time, people kept applying, and the backlog, like the volume of application increased significantly. So they changed the rule again, or they changed the way of resolving the case again. And then it got to the point where you file, they review your application, they approve your petition or not, and then you have to wait for your date to be current. In the past, once they approve your petition, you can adjust your status immediately. You just couldn't file concurrently as it used to be before. So the new method, well, after they canceled the concurrent filing, it became you file, it get approved, and then you can apply for change of status immediately. But now, it's such that you file, you wait for your petition to be approved, and then you have to wait for your date to be current. And then there are two dates. There's a filing date, and then there's a final action date. And those dates, they mean two different things. Filing dates basically means now you're qualified to apply for adjustment of status. And the final action date means this is the date that we would try our very possible best to take action on your case. If you put all those details together, now it's taking about 2 years, at least a year and a half after you submit your petition to get through the entire process. For most people, that's a very long period of time, especially if you're on OPT, you're burning through your STEM OPT, you don't have any hope of getting H-1B visa, you need something. And that is what the second part of this video is going to be about. I'm going to try and explore options for people that are in that category. Either you cannot wait, you don't have the luxury of time to wait for 2 years to hear back from USCIS, or you just need time crunch, or you'd rather explore other means. So I said earlier on in the beginning of the video that if you're really qualified for NIW, there's a decent chance that you're qualified for something that is slightly above NIW, which is EB1 visa. EB1 visa is the same idea with NIW, but the criteria is slightly different. I'd say a bit stringent in the sense that you need to show proof of awards that other people in your field really see the work that you've done. So NIW in a sense is the potential that you have. EB1 on the other hand is you've been doing things. It's not I'm going to do X, Y, Z. It's that these are the things that I've done. And the problem is it's all based on your narrative, right? It's all based on how you explain your endeavor and the things that you've been doing. So if you really qualify for NIW, you can explore the idea of doing EB1. And the difference between EB1 and NIW right now, as far as processing time is concerned, is that EB1 is immediate. Visas are available almost immediately. So you don't need to wait for your application date or final action, all of those things. No, you can file for EB1. Dates are current, right? So the point being that if you're qualified for NIW, there's also a decent chance that if you know how to explore your story and narrate your contribution to your field, and you have people that are recognized and respected in that field that can back up your claim, there's a decent chance that you're qualified for EB1 as well, if you can document all of that in a way that is appealing and is strong enough. So that's one thing to think about. The other option to think about is because you don't have enough time to wait for approval for NIW, you can also go through the O1 route while you're waiting for your NIW to go through. This is O1 visa is for talented individual. It has a very short duration that you have to renew. I think you have to be like 2 or 3 times, and then you cannot do it again. But it would buy you time to go through the entire NIW or EB1 process once you get your green card. And the visa is beneficial in the sense that it's not a lottery-based system. Unlike H-1B, that is lottery-based system where it doesn't matter. Even if you're qualified, if you don't get picked, it doesn't matter anyway. You're not going to get the visa. But O1 visa it's not a lottery-based system. You submit proof of your talent, your contribution, you get approved. And once that is approved, you can work for your employer and wait until your date become current, either through the NIW or you go through the EB1 visa option that I mentioned earlier on. So the main point of my video, what I'm trying to pass across to you is that there are options. So the fact that everybody's doing NIW does not mean you should fit yourself into that category. If you have a really decent story and you know how to narrate your contribution and you have people that are going to support your petition, then you should really think about doing EB1 because there are very few people in that category and visas are readily available for people regardless of where you're from. India, China, Nigeria, wherever you're from, which is currently not the case for NIW. And you can also explore other visa options such as O1 visa while you're waiting for that particular petition to be adjudicated. And the reason why I made this video is because I met a couple of people over the last week or so, and we were having a conversation, and the person was telling me that somebody that used to work for them really got the EB1 visa approved, the petition, and they got a green card. And I was asking them, oh, do they have any patents to their name? Do they have any, the way that I think about EB1 is such that, oh, you need to have patents, you need to have hundreds of papers. And the person really enlightened me that, no, it's not that. It's good to have those things. At the barest minimum, you want to have some of those things. But the way people think about the criteria for getting qualified for EB1 is probably too high. And you can narrate your story in such a way that even if you qualify for NIW, you can still get the EB1. So this is your cue to think about the type of petition that you're submitting and which one is best for you. But that's all I have for you in this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. And if you have any comments about the current status of the program, do not forget to drop the comments. I'd love to read those comments and see if I have any relevant information, or it might also help some other people out. So, cheers.